Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, first published in 1813, is one of the most beloved novels in English literature. It offers a keen insight into the social fabric of early 19th century England, focusing on themes of love, reputation and class. It has become one of the best-loved books ever written. Let's take a closer look. Pride and Prejudice opens with the news that a wealthy young gentleman, Mr. Charles Bingley, has rented the manor of Netherfield Park, causing a great stir in the nearby village of Longbourn, especially in the Bennet household. The Bennets have 5 unmarried daughters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty and Lydia, and Mrs. Bennet is desperate to see them all married. At a ball, Mr. Bingley is immediately taken with Jane Bennet, while his friend, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, initially dismisses Elizabeth Bennet as tolerable but not handsome enough to tempt me. This sets the stage for the evolving relationship between Elizabeth and Darcy, marked by misunderstandings and personal growth. As the story progresses, Elizabeth meets Mr. Wickham, a charming officer who shares a negative history with Darcy, further prejudicing Elizabeth against him. Meanwhile, Mr. Collins, a pompous clergyman and the Bennet family's heir, proposes to Elizabeth, who rejects him. He then marries her friend, Charlotte Lucas. The turning point comes when Darcy proposes to Elizabeth, but she rejects him, citing his role in separating Jane and Bingley, and his mistreatment of Wickham. Darcy responds with a letter explaining his actions, leading Elizabeth to reconsider her prejudices. Eventually, Darcy's true character is revealed through his actions, particularly in resolving the scandal of Lydia Bennet's elopement with Wickham. Elizabeth and Darcy's mutual understanding and respect grow, culminating in their marriage. Similarly, Jane and Bingley reunite and marry, bringing the novel to a satisfying conclusion. Themes of the book. Love and marriage. The novel explores various aspects of love and marriage, from the romantic idealism of Elizabeth and Darcy to the pragmatic approach of Charlotte Lucas. Austen critiques the social pressures that prioritise financial security over genuine affection. Pride and Prejudice. The title itself highlights the central themes. Darcy's pride in his social status and Elizabeth's prejudice against him based on first impressions create obstacles in their relationship. Both characters must overcome these flaws to find happiness. Social class and reputation. The novel is a commentary on the rigid class structure of Regency England. Characters like Lady Catherine de Bourgh epitomise the arrogance of the aristocracy, while the Bennet family's lower status creates challenges for the daughters' marriage prospects. Individual growth. Both Elizabeth and Darcy undergo significant personal growth. Elizabeth learns to question her initial judgments, while Darcy becomes more self-aware and humble. Their development underscores the importance of self-reflection and personal improvement. Jane Austen was born on December 16, 1775, in Steventon, Hampshire, England. She was the 7th of 8 children in a close-knit family. Her father, George Austen, was a clergyman, and her mother, Cassandra Lee, came from a prominent family. Jane's closest companion was her sister, Cassandra, with whom she shared a deep bond. Austen began writing at a young age, creating stories and plays for her family's amusement. Her first major works, including Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, were written in her early 20s. Despite her talent, she struggled to find a publisher initially. Pride and Prejudice, originally titled First Impressions, was completed in 1797, but published only in 1813. Pride and Prejudice was written during the Georgian era, 1714 to 1837. A period marked by significant social and political changes. The novel is set in the Regency period, 1811 to 1820, characterised by the regency of George IV during the mental illness of his father, King George III. This era saw the rise of the Industrial Revolution, which began to transform the British economy and society. The landed gentry, represented by characters like Mr. Darcy, were the traditional power holders, but new wealth from trade and industry was beginning to challenge their dominance. The Napoleonic Wars, 1799 to 1815, also influenced the period, with many young men, like the militia officers in the novel, serving in the military. The war created economic instability and social upheaval, which are subtly reflected in the novel's background. Women's roles were highly restricted during this time. Marriage was often the only viable option for financial security and social standing, as seen in the Bennet sisters' plight. Inheritance laws favoured male heirs, leaving women dependent on advantageous marriages. Austen's portrayal of the Bennet family's financial struggles and the emphasis on marriage reflect the societal pressures of the time. Her critique of these norms highlights the limited opportunities available to women and the importance of personal integrity and mutual respect in relationships. Jane Austen's writing in Pride and Prejudice is celebrated for its wit, irony, and keen social commentary. Her narrative style combines a third-person omniscient perspective with free indirect discourse, allowing readers to access the thoughts and feelings of her characters while maintaining an objective viewpoint. Austen's use of irony is particularly notable. She employs it to critique societal norms and highlight the absurdities of her character's behaviour. For example, Mr. Collins's sycophancy and Mrs. Bennet's obsession with marrying off her daughters are portrayed with a humorous yet critical eye. The novel's dialogue is another strength. Austen's characters are vividly brought to life through their conversations, which reveal their personalities, motivations, and social dynamics. Elizabeth Bennet's sharp wit and Mr. Darcy's reserved yet sincere expressions are prime examples of Austen's skill in crafting engaging and realistic dialogue. Austen's exploration of themes such as pride, prejudice, and social class remains relevant today. Her characters' struggles with self-awareness and personal growth resonate with modern readers, making Pride and Prejudice a timeless work. However, some critics argue that Austen's focus on the domestic sphere and the lives of the gentry limit the scope of her novels. The lack of direct reference to broader historical events, such as the Napoleonic Wars, has been seen as a limitation. Yet, this focus on the personal and the everyday allows Austen to delve deeply into the intricacies of human relationships and social interactions. Pride and Prejudice is a masterful exploration of love, social class, and personal growth. Jane Austen's keen observations, witty dialogue, and ironic narrative style create a rich and engaging story that continues to captivate readers. The novel's enduring popularity is a testament to Austen's skill as a writer and her ability to illuminate the complexities of human nature and society. We hope you enjoyed this bite-sized guide to Pride and Prejudice. Let us know what you think of the book in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out our other videos. You'll become a literature expert in no time.